Welcome to EQBloom, where we explore the intricate connections between the body and the mind. Today's topic is food intolerances and mood instability, an area of research that bridges nutrition science, immunology, and mental health. For decades, food sensitivities were largely dismissed in mainstream medicine unless they involved severe allergic reactions. But emerging research has revealed that even low-grade food intolerances, reactions that don't cause anaphylaxis or hives, can create chronic inflammation, disrupt gut integrity, and profoundly influence mood stability. On this journey, we'll explore how certain foods can affect your brain chemistry, why food intolerances often go unnoticed, and what science-backed strategies can help restore emotional balance. The gut and brain are in constant biochemical conversation, and the foods we choose are powerful messages in that dialogue. Let's start by clarifying definitions. A food intolerance is different from a food allergy. Allergies involve an immediate strong immune reaction, often mediated by immunoglobulin E antibodies, leading to symptoms like swelling, rashes, or even life-threatening anaphylaxis. In contrast, intolerances usually involve delayed immune responses or enzymatic deficiencies. For example, lactose intolerance results from insufficient lactase enzyme, making it difficult to digest milk, sugar. Gluten intolerance or non-celiac gluten sensitivity may, however, involve subtle immune activation and inflammation without the intestinal damage seen in celiac disease. But the key thing here is timing. Intolerance symptoms often appear hours or even days after consumption, making them harder to detect. They can include digestive symptoms, bloating, cramping, diarrhea, but also systemic symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, irritability, and low mood. Because these symptoms are diffuse and nonspecific, people may never connect them to diet, especially if their reactions aren't immediate. To understand why food intolerances affect mood, we need to look at the gut immune mood axis. Around 70% of your immune system resides in the gut-associated lymphoid tissue, a network of immune cells that monitor everything entering your digestive tract. When a problematic food is detected, immune cells may release inflammatory cytokines such as interleukin-6, IL-6, or tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNFA. These inflammatory molecules can travel through the bloodstream and influence brain function. Inflammation can alter neurotransmitter production. For instance, it can reduce the synthesis of serotonin, the mood-stabilizing chemical, most of which is produced in the gut. It can disrupt dopamine pathways, affecting motivation and pleasure. It can increase cortisol, the stress hormone, making you more reactive and anxious. What's remarkable and somewhat unsettling is that low-grade chronic inflammation from repeated exposure to intolerant foods can subtly shift brain chemistry over time, contributing to mood swings, irritability, and even depressive symptoms. One of the reasons food intolerances are underdiagnosed is that their symptoms often extend far beyond digestion. Yes, you may experience bloating, cramps, or changes in bowel habits, but equally important are the non-digestive symptoms: headaches, difficulty concentrating, fatigue, irritability, anxiety, and low mood. These mental and emotional symptoms often result from neuroinflammation, inflammation within the central nervous system. When inflammatory molecules cross the blood-brain barrier, they can alter neuronal firing patterns and impair brain networks that regulate emotional stability. For example, microglia, the brain's immune cells, can become overactive in the presence of systemic inflammation. Once activated, they can alter neurotransmitter metabolism and synaptic function, which translates into mood volatility. This is why someone might say, "I feel off," without linking it to what they ate 24 to 48 hours ago. The food/mood connection is real, but it requires awareness and pattern tracking to detect. Certain foods are statistically more likely to provoke intolerance reactions. Although triggers vary from person to person, the most common offenders include gluten, found in wheat, barley, and rye. It's a well-known trigger for celiac disease, but can also cause non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Dairy, especially milk proteins like casein and whey, as well as lactose intolerance. Soy can act as a phytoestrogen and allergen for some individuals. Eggs, both yolk and white proteins, may cause immune responses. Processed sugar can disrupt gut microbiota and fuel inflammation. Caffeine, while not an intolerance, excessive caffeine can worsen gut permeability and increase anxiety in sensitive individuals. Severity varies widely. Someone with a mild sensitivity might only experience symptoms after large servings, while another may react to trace amounts. This is why keeping a symptom diary is critical. Tracking what you eat alongside your physical and emotional symptoms is often the first step to identifying patterns. Once you suspect a food intolerance, the gold standard method for confirmation is an elimination diet. This involves removing suspected trigger foods for 3 to 6 weeks, then reintroducing them one at a time while observing symptoms. Beyond elimination, the goal is to heal and support the gut environment. Strategies include eating fiber-rich, anti-inflammatory foods like leafy greens, berries, and whole grains unless grains are a trigger. Incorporating fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, and kimchi to increase beneficial bacteria. Staying hydrated to support digestion and nutrient absorption. Managing stress with mindfulness, meditation, or breathwork, since stress alone can increase gut permeability. Remember, the aim isn't to create a highly restrictive diet forever. It's to identify what foods your body thrives on, restore gut health, and then find a sustainable, balanced eating pattern. Let's bring it all together. Food intolerances are not just a matter of digestion. They can be a hidden driver of mood instability, brain fog, and emotional reactivity. The gut and brain are partners in mental health. When the gut is inflamed, the brain often feels it, and when the gut is nourished and balanced, the emotional stability improves. The quote here says it best: your brain feels what your gut eats. Protecting your mental well-being often starts with the seemingly simple everyday choices you make at the table. The takeaway is clear. Listen to your body, track your symptoms, and remember that emotional resilience begins with physical integrity, especially at the gut-brain interface.